Weekend one's in the books. Tennessee comes out. They take care of business. Total domination all weekend. We'll discuss the weekend, what I feel was a very good start to the weekend. Not a lot went wrong this weekend for this Tennessee baseball team, and it's a team that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this season. Hit that like, that share, that subscribe. Check out the links in the description. Channel memberships and channel Patreon. As little as $1 a month with the Patreon can go to help the channel grow as we're hitting that point where it's time to grow more at this point. But thank you guys for your support and tuning in on this one. Tennessee takes care of business this weekend with 2-run rules, and then game 2, of course, they won 5-1 as well. Hit a little bit of, I wouldn't say adversity, but the game was tied a little later. Tennessee bounces back. But, let's get into it. Did the live show Friday night, so we've talked about the Friday game. So let's talk a little bit more about yesterday, where the plan was to go live after the game, but the rearrangement into a doubleheader put it to where it interfered with things I had going on with it. I will be back live Tuesday after the UNC Asheville game. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. But if you look at it, starting with the pitching this weekend, you had Coons, who was excellent Friday night. Landon Mack was really good yesterday. He did give up the 1 home run. Josh Elander talked about it, though. He said that it was a good pitch. He said you got to tip your cap to the guy from Nicholls. But what I liked about Landon Mack was his last 2 innings, he was dominant and arguably his best 2 innings of the day. He finished strong, handed the ball off to Cameron Appenzeller. We got to see him, freshman, highly regarded, coming in. 2 really good innings for him, 2 innings, 4 strikeouts. And then we got to see Bo Rudy come in and finish it off, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts as well. I really think when it's all said and done, your closer is going to be Bo Rudy. And I like what he brings in there. He looked really good in that outing. Game 2, Evan Blanco then goes 5 innings with it. In that game, we saw numerous guys as well. We saw Braden Krenzel come in 1 inning. 1 strikeout, no walks, 3. He went through the minimum. I like that. That was good for him. Brady Frederick did come in, had a bit of a rough outing. 1 inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned. He did have 3 strikeouts. He did have a walk as well on it. Frederick's one I'm curious to see how he's going to translate with his stuff. He's not going to get you – he's not going to overbear you with velocity on it. But I still think he's a guy who can do some good things there. And I liked in game 2 yesterday, game 3 overall, that they got some more guys in the lineup. But, you got to be pretty happy with the pitching coming out of this weekend. Again, Friday night, with Coons. And then, let's see, you went to what? Nick Abraham after that. And, not a whole lot you can't ask for on that. Just a good weekend for the pitching overall. Hitting wise, man, you got to be encouraged. And looking at the hitting leaders coming out of the weekend on it. Actually, I wanted to look at pitching. You come out of the weekend, your ERAs on this: Blanco 0, Coons 0, Mack 1.5, Appenzeller 0, Rudy 0, Krenzel 0, Abraham 0. Brady Frederick did have that. He has an 18 ERA. That's some pretty good ERAs coming out of the weekend. And when your starters going, I'm looking at it: Coons 6 2/3, Mack 6, Blanco 5. That's going to play. That's going to play. And speaking of Cameron Appenzeller, I thought maybe he's your midweek guy, but it sounds like, based on Josh Elander's press conference, Cameron Appenzeller is going to be weekend. So I'm curious to see if they use. I'm curious to see if they go Nick Abraham through the week, but Nick Abraham was the first guy out of the pen Friday night. Maybe he's a weekend dude. Maybe they go freshman this week as well, as we didn't see Ethan Bioto, DJ McDowell, Chandler Day, some of these dudes. So I would think you may see some of them. I would also not be surprised if they don't open with Blaine Brown on Tuesday, just based on Josh Elander's comments this past weekend. Said we could use him in an opener role. So could he come out and start Tuesday night against UNC Asheville? I think it bears watching on that one. Speaking of Blaine Brown, I talked about him I've talked about him a lot on it. We saw why. Something I want to start doing. I'm not going to do it now. I wanted to get this recap in. We want to start looking at some highlights of these guys along the way. Let's instead of me just talking, let's get some views in there. Let's get some highlights in. But man, he hit 3 home runs yesterday. Hit 2 in game 2, and then game 2 overall. Hit in the first game of the doubleheader. Come out of the gates in the last game, game 3, game 2 yesterday, and he and Levi Clark went back to back on it. Couple of his home runs were exit velocity 111 and 112 on that. That's coming off the bat pretty hard. Now, if you want to compare it overall, the highest exit velo ever, I think it's like 122, closer to 123. O'Neal Cruz from Pittsburgh. But still, yeah, it's coming off the bat, 111, 112. You saw how that got out. Cody Hahn talked on the telecast about, especially that 3-run home run that Blaine Brown hit, was about the equivalent of hitting a 3-iron as far as the height. It was a low ball, and it got out quick on it. But Blaine Brown is going to put up monster numbers this year. In my season predictions, I said he's going to lead this team in home runs. And because he talked about it, he said that short porch is going to be fun at Lindsey Nelson. And, yeah, he had a big weekend on it. Overall, the offense was good this weekend. I want to go through the stats on that one as well. Coming out of the weekend, your average leader based on, let's see, you had Finley Bates, who won at bat. 2 at bats, excuse me. He homered in the first at bat that he saw. And then I'm trying to think, what did he do? Let me pull the box back up here. Finley Bates, because he came in later on and played second base. He was 2 for 2 in that. He had a home run and looks like maybe he had a single there as well. But good for him coming out. Reese Chapman, though. Reese Chapman had a good weekend, 3 for 5 on the weekend. He also had 3 walks, and he did come out of a couple games. He come out yesterday. Nathan Eisfelder went in his place. I thought it was funny in that second game of the doubleheader, game 3 overall, Reese Chapman was 0 for 0 with 2 walks. Nathan Eisfelder come in 0 for 0, 2 walks as well with it. Blaine Brown, 571 on the weekend. He was 8 for 14. He had a double. He scored 7 runs. He had 3 home runs. He had 5 RBIs, 1 walk, only 1 strikeout and 14 at bats. That's a pretty solid weekend. Tyler Myatt hit 500 for the weekend. I'm telling you right now, man, they're going to have a hard time keeping Tyler Myatt out of the lineup. He come in Friday night with the Thunder, hit that massive bomb, almost had another one yesterday, hit one off the wall in his first appearance in the second game of the doubleheader, game 3 over on the series. But then he just got things done. He went 1 for 3, but he drove in 4 runs in that game. And I think it's going to be fascinating moving forward. I say it, if there's some guys that can hit, they'll get some guys in that will with it. And Myatt, 500 on the weekend, a good weekend for him as he was 2 for 4, did have a home run. He had 5 RBIs, 1 walk, no strikeouts for him. Trent Grenlinger DH'd game 2 of the series, the first game of the doubleheader. He went 2 for 4 yesterday. Henry Ford for the weekend was 5 out of 12. Stone Lawless, 333. He was 2 out of 6, but he had 3 walks. And what encouraged me was Stone Lawless, no strikeouts. Manny Marin was 1 for 3. Now, Manny didn't play yesterday, said he has a hand injury. And it was a grand opportunity for Ariel Antigua. And he did really good Friday night. Yesterday was not his grandest day as he was, overall Antigua was 0 for 6, left 11 on base, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Marin's injury is a little bit of something if they don't set him Tuesday as well and Antigua gets another shot. But, man, when you get those opportunities, he's got to come through with it. The defense is going to be there. It's a matter of the hitting. That's always been the question with it. So hopefully Antigua bounces back. He did hit some good shots Friday night. He hit the ball really well. hopefully it's just one of those days yesterday and he bounces back when he gets his opportunity again on it. Looking at it as well, let's see. Levi Clark, 182. Man, he was 2 out of 11 as he finally broke through with a couple hits in game 3 of the series, the second game of the doubleheader yesterday. But, man, I feel like he hit some really hard balls all weekend. And just that's what I said Friday night on it, because his first 2 at-bats he struck out, he popped out. Then he hit a couple shots, and he just hit it right at him, or they made plays on it. I felt like it was the same in the first game of the doubleheader yesterday, and then he and Blaine Brown went back-to-back to start the first inning, or not to start. Henry Ford got out, and then Brown and Clark went back-to-back, and then Clark come through again later with a base hit up the middle. He had a good last game of the series yesterday. I'm not at all concerned about that 182 with him because, again, if he's striking out every time, sure, that's one thing. He had 2 strikeouts on the weekend and 11 at-bats, but he hit some really hard balls this weekend. And, I'm pretty encouraged by that. Chris Newstrom was 1 for 7 on the weekend, a couple strikeouts. Antigua, 1 for 9 with a few strikeouts. Jay Abernathy, 1 for 9. This is that group of guys right there that's got the potential. But, again, here's where it's at. I mean, these guys got opportunities last year, and they never were fully in the lineup. It's the consistency with them. The talent is there. It's a matter of them putting it together. And that's where I say guys like Grimmer, when he returns, Tyler Myatt, Icefelder. Surprised we didn't see Taylor Tracy this week. Finley Bates. I mean, Finley Bates is going to come off the bench and hit too. Guys better be producing or they'll be watching. I can tell you that now, and because there are a lot of options on it for sure. And then you had, let's see, Evan Hankins started at DH in the last game. Hunter High got a pinch hit. Nathan Icefelder, he was 0 for 1. I said he was 0 for 0. He was 0 for 1, but he did have 2 walks as well. Overall, 337 for the weekend. That's a pretty good weekend for them as well. Left on base was really good yesterday. I mean, Antigua was really, he accounted for most of it. It is what it is on that. You got to be encouraged. Yes, people say, yeah, it's Nicholls or whatever. There's some talent, man. They talked about some of the dudes transferring in. They've had some guys transfer in from other programs. They're a couple years out from, I think they talked about they won their conference a couple years ago. Their coach went to Arkansas State, so they're kind of going through their thing there. But I'm not sitting here telling you we just beat the best mid-major school out there or nothing. But I don't think this Nicholls team was void of talent either. And Tennessee handled, especially games 1 and 3. They handled it. Game 2 I liked it. It was a closer game. But, negatives on the weekend. 3 pickoffs yesterday. Tennessee got picked off 3 times. Josh Elander said, that's some guys just getting in, maybe getting a little antsy, I guess. That wasn't the words he used. I can't remember what he used exactly on it. That's something they got to fix, though, with the pickoffs, because that could, in a big game especially, they had to throw behind with runners on second and third. That could be big in an SEC game or when you go down to Arlington in a couple of weeks as well. But got to be really encouraged with your starting pitch, and all 3 guys were dealing this weekend. Bullpen was really good for the most part. I love the top of the lineup with Ford, Blaine Brown, Levi Clark. And you may get to a point teams are trying to avoid Blaine Brown. I think Levi Clark will make them pay. And I'll tell you what as well. Reese Chapman if Reese Chapman can do that. Now, is he going to go 600 every weekend? No. But Reese Chapman was really good this weekend. And let's give credit where credit's due. I don't care who the opponent is. Reese Chapman got it done this weekend. That's big. If he can do his thing, when Grimmer comes back, he's going to be in somewhere. Again, good luck keeping Tyler Myatt out of this lineup. That's a loud bat. The lineup will evolve along the way. I don't know that the top of it will change much. The bottom is what I'm watching for again, if these guys can't produce, they've got flexibility. They can move dudes around. It's going to be fun. UNC Asheville Tuesday, Kent State next weekend. I've not dove into Kent State yet to know if that's an upgrade from Nicholls or not. I know it's another midweek game, and then they go to Arlington, and it gets real. Then that's going to be a lot of fun to watch as well. But this is Frank. This is the House of Orange. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you when I see you.